Why would you decide to leave YouTube? Because you were doing so well on that for, what was it, 3-4 years where it really, you were dominating the YouTube ad space and posting consistently on top of that.
I started buying businesses and it just like blew up and took a lot of my time. Like I bought Pier 1, I bought RadioShack, I bought Dress Barn. Like I just bought myself and an SPV, we bought 75% of a publicly traded NASDAQ company. So the last 3 years has just been like, I just didn't have time. You run out of time in the day, you know?
Yeah. Why did you do that?
That's a great question because they said, like, why do you try to climb Mount Everest? Because it's there. That's probably why, you know, it's like,
I think a lot of people would see like Pier 1 and see these otherwise failing businesses that are not doing well. Wouldn't you think that that's going to be like a Blockbuster? Let's just let them, you know.
I tried to buy Blockbuster. I'd buy Blockbuster all day, turn into competitor to Netflix. I tried. The guy who owned it is up not far from here. Pier 1 wasn't failing as much. It was only failing because COVID shut all the stores down. And when you have 1,200 stores, and let's say your average lease, just pick a number, is $100,000 a year, but you can't open the store and make 1 penny of revenue, do the math.
Yeah, but weren't they getting also COVID stimulus checks and you'd be able to apply for plenty of loans? No?
Not enough. That COVID, large footprints of retail stores locked in at pre-COVID leases. So Pier 1 was a good business that was temporarily put out of business.
My understanding, though, is that the revenue was declining and that they were losing market share to online. I could be wrong. You've looked into a little.
I mean, it was doing $1.7 billion of revenue, and I bought it for $31 million. Time will tell if it's. Look, man, you make bets, and I'm not an omnipotent person, but you make your bets and you live with them. And I think buying distressed assets, it works in real estate. I know you do a lot of stuff with real estate. It's my philosophy on real estate. Like Grant Cardone buys stuff more at any time of the market, right? He's been buying multifamily at arguably pretty high valuations, which is working for him. But I like to buy low. Maybe it's because I'm a college dropout. I have a simple investing formula. Buy low. It's the ultimate margin of safety. And I think a lot of people in the last 5 years, I was looking at, Redfin, like Open Door, all these Open Door. I was just looking at the news. Open Door, 1,500 homes they bought in January this year. Now they're dumping all of them.
Yeah, it's a terrible business.
For 100,000 less than they paid. That's 150 million loss.
Stupid idea. Zillow tried to copy it. It's a bad idea.
But I want to come and buy that block of homes.
Could be BlackRock who's going to buy them. Some big institution's going to offer them one flat rate. Buy them all.
But I've outbid institutions, man. Buying Pier 1, big. I was up against a big private equity firm called Sycamore. These are the guys that bid on Victoria's Secret. These are multi-billion-dollar. You can win. You can win against these guys.
And how much did you pay?
I paid $31 million. The public auction.
Well, what about RadioShack? How much did you pay to buy RadioShack?
That one's private. It's undisclosed. But yeah, that one we own with a billionaire guy.
What's the plan with these? To revitalize and sell?
Yeah, now brick and mortar. We want to open the stores back up. For 2 years, you bought them. You couldn't open the stores. It was COVID restrictions. But we bought, now is the opportunity. I still believe brick and mortar, if you do the stores of the right size, if they're too big, like Bed Bath & Beyond, you saw the news, like the CFO killed himself, jumped out of his apartment in New York. Those stores are huge. They have 100,000 square foot stores. It's going to fail. You have to right size the business. Adaption,
How is that going to compete with Amazon that's now offering same day delivery? For me, it would be such an inconvenience to go and
So one thing is you can take all our brands and put them on Amazon. So if you can't beat them, join them. That's number one. Number two, there's some things people still like going into stores. For example, even with Pier 1 now, we used to have a huge fragrance business. Pier 1 was like the number 3 fragrance, candles, all this stuff. $250 million a year it was doing in its stores. We switched everything to online. Guess what? We found out women like to come in and smell the candles. So it's a tougher bit. Like Amazon, you can beat Amazon for that. Think about it. You can't try new stuff. I guess you could order 20 new candles and smell them and send all the ones back, but people are still going to stores. The full demise of retail, I don't think will happen. I just think it's a shift.
Okay. Now, bodybuilding.com was something that was surprising to me because I would shop at bodybuilding.com a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was being sold.
Yeah, it was off-market deal.
How did that come? How did that come about?
So it was, I keep my feelers out with all the investment bankers, business brokers, and stuff like that. That one came up. It was a huge business, one of the original supplement, like before Amazon, you know. But it's been on the decline. And I think it's like Charles Darwin said, it's not the strongest or the smartest who survive, it's the most adaptable. So I think if you don't adapt, all these businesses are going to disappear, including Apple. Have you, like, iMessage sucks. Do you use iMessage?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
Like,
I like
WhatsApp's so much better. WhatsApp, you have good voice memos. It's easy to delete stuff. You can have disappearing messages. Like, iMessage, like WhatsApp has shot up.
Messages copy all of
Of course,
that?
but how many years? Like, they haven't innovated at all. I'll make a prediction.
Sure.
There's a serious chance your grandchildren won't know who Apple is. Look at Facebook. I've been saying that. I'm like, Facebook did not adapt. And TikTok ate their lunch in 3 years. Really been 3 years, maybe 2.